What if I told you you could generate a completely custom pitch deck based on your lead's specific pain points live on a sales call? Imagine this, you're on a call with another closer, they're running through the same usual questions, then start pitching you. But this time it's different. They share their screen and you see your numbers, your name, your specific pain points which you literally mentioned 30 seconds ago with a tailored plan on how to go about fixing them. They've definitely got your attention, and this is because it's a true solution to your problem, which is the reason why you got on a call in the first place. When you think having this instant custom pitch automation will increase your close percentage, you'd have to be a real idiot to mess up a sales call where the solution is literally tailored to your lead's specific pain points. In this video, my friends, I'll be showing you how you can integrate this automation in your sales pitch to create custom pitches in less than 30 seconds, giving you the superpower to blow your leads away and make more money. We'll be going over the best ways to use this setup to guarantee an increase in sales, how to actually set this up within your agency for free, and the different ways you can start using this on your sales calls. Guys, other agencies will literally charge you thousands for something like this, but as always, we'll be putting back the curtain and showing you everything we know completely for free. All I want is 10 minutes of your time so I can teach you how to increase your close percentage. If that's too much to ask, then stop watching. Now that they're all gone, let's go over the best ways you can actually use this within your agency to increase your close rate as soon as possible. Now guys, from everything I've seen, sales really come down to two main stages. And obviously you can break down each one of these stages into their own smaller steps. But in general, you have the first stage, which is actually understanding the problem. And then you have the second stage, which is actually presenting a no-brainer solution to that problem, which if your lead is qualified will obviously be your offer. If you were to use this in your agency, you'd use it in between these two stages. So when you're first trying to understand the problem, you write down a specific set of notes based on what they're saying, such as their monthly revenue, some key KPIs, where they want to be in X amount of time. Doing this will allow you to then present a completely custom solution with their specific pain points, their specific numbers, and their specific needs. Now, as you can imagine, this completely changed the kind of shift of the conversation because you have that specific solution based on their specific needs, which is the reason why they hopped on a call in the first place. The dynamic completely changes from having you begging them to buy your services to having them begging you to work with you. And the only reason you're able to do this is because you're truly providing them with a no-brainer solution, which you break down to them using their own stats, their own numbers, and their specific pain points. Now that we have an understanding of how we're actually going to use this completely custom tool within your sales process, let's talk about how we can actually set it up. This setup is split into 3 key steps, and it all starts with the input. Like I said earlier, in the first stage of the call where you're understanding their problems, you're going to be listening carefully and collect their data and create this sort of custom pitch for them at the end. This input can literally be anything. It can be a form, a Google Sheet, even a Slack message to a specific channel. It doesn't really matter. The beauty of automation is that you can kind of tailor it to your specific needs. When we do this for most of our clients, we use a Google Sheet because you can play around with a lot of variables there. However, for this example, we're going to be going on with a form, more specifically a Google form, because it makes life a lot easier. And I don't want to confuse anyone using Google Sheets or a Slack message, as it is a bit more complicated. And I want to make this as simple as possible for you guys to copy and get started. So the first thing you want to do is build a Google form similar to this. Here, all I'm asking is very, very simple things. Their company name, their current monthly revenue, the golden 3 months, the number of sales calls they're taking per month, and the time period that they need in order to get these results. Live on a sales call, I'd be listening to all their problems and writing down some of the things they say. So for example, if they tell me they have a monthly revenue of 20,000 a month, I'll write down 20,000 here. And just rinse and repeat that for the rest of the data I am trying to collect from this call. Once I've got my input, it's time to work on output. Now, once again, guys, you can do whatever you want. You can do this on a presentation, on a Google Doc. I'm guessing most of you guys are using presentations, so we're going to go ahead with that for this example. And we're going to be using Google Slides to create a completely custom presentation for the lead. You need to know something about how to actually set this up because you do need to have a certain layout in order to input data to be collected in the first step. This is my example of my no-brainer presentation. And as you can see, all the variables that I want to input in the next step are all in these brackets. So I'm going to be importing their client revenue. So I put their current revenue in these brackets. I want to be importing the time. So I'm putting the time in these brackets. And the same goes for all the other stuff. Their current revenue, desired revenue, and also their name, obviously, to make it a bit more personal. I hope you're with me so far. Just to make sure you're listening, I'm going to go over everything we've done. The first thing we did was actually set up the input, which is just a Google form, which you'll be filling in during a sales call with the specific leads information. And then secondly, we set up the output, which is just a Google presentation, which has all the variables we want to bring in these special brackets right here. Now that we've got the inputs and the outputs, it's time to use a no-code automation tool like Zapier to actually set up this automation to create completely custom pitches. The actual automation is super simple. All we're going to do is trigger this automation when the form is complete. We're going to create a template based on this presentation. We're going to store that template in a specific folder and then share the template so we can actually access it. This is a snapshot of what we're actually going to be building out. These two steps here, I'm going to dive into a bit later, but it goes over the different ways you can actually use this tool to take it to the next level. Let's jump in Zapier to actually take a deeper dive at this presentation. So as you can see, guys, this automation is fairly simple. All we have is a trigger, which will be a new response in a Google Sheet for our specific form I created earlier. And just reference this to the form we're going to be filling out. Once that form comes in, we want to do a couple of things with the numbers. So the first thing I'm doing is times in the monthly revenue by 10. The only reason I'm having is because for this specific example, we're going to assume you have a guarantee that can 10x their monthly revenue in X amount of days. So I'm taking the data I've submitted on the form and times it by 10. And in this operation, I'm taking their monthly revenue and the revenue that I can generate them and subtracting it from each other to show them the increase of the revenue they can make from working with us. In this specific example, guys, just to be clear, this is not my offer. Once I've got all my inputs, I then create a completely custom presentation for the agency, inputting all of my inputs in these specific factors. As you can see, guys, all the inputs are everything that I've put in those special brackets I showed you earlier in my presentation. So for example, we have desired revenue here. Desired revenue is in these brackets. We have time here. Time is in these brackets. Client name is here. Client name is in these brackets. So guys, whatever you want to customize in the presentation, put it in these brackets, and then you'll see them as inputs in Zapier, which you can easily just drop your data in so you can update automatically. This is not complicated at all. I've also added it so it creates a completely custom title for the presentation based on the client's name. And the last step is actually moving it to a specific Google folder so I can actually find it within my Google Drive. Now, this probably looks a bit confusing, but trust me, it's not that difficult. I'm literally going to turn it on for you and show you how this works. So all I'm going to do right now is go through this automation and create an example presentation. So for company name, I'm going to put your agency. I'm going to assume the monthly revenue is 30,000. And let's say they have a goal to get 50K in 3 months. Let's say they have, 10 sales calls a month. And we're going to get them that goal in 90 days. All we have to do is press submit. And that's when the magic actually starts happening. And as you can see, guys, here's the presentation created right now. And if we open it up, you'll see all the numbers have been automatically put in. So we have your agency, which is the name of the agency we inputted, their monthly revenue and the desired revenue, as well as the timeline that we inputted before. If you go to the other slides, you'll see everything is also automatically updated. And if you look here, the cool thing is that we've calculated the actual revenue increase. So without guarantee, we're technically guaranteeing them a revenue increase in 27K. And that comes from the two inputs we calculated in the automation earlier. That's literally as simple as it gets, guys. I have attached a link to this Zapier in the description, so you can literally just copy and paste it. However, I think you're better off just making it yourself because it's literally only 5 steps and you'll probably need to configure it to your specific needs anyways. Now, I've shown you how we've completely created this presentation in a matter of seconds using automation and the user's specific needs to address their pain points. I want you to put yourself in a lead situation. We've just gone a breakdown on how this agency you're talking to is going to increase your revenue by 10x in only 90 days with your specific numbers, your name and your goal outlined. How likely do you think this is actually going to decrease your guard and increase your likelihood to actually purchase these services that they're offering you? This is the exact way that implementing this system in your agency can increase your close rate, allowing you to make more money every single month. And as I've shown you guys, this is super easy to set up. Now, the way to actually take this to the next level is by using this formatting function right here. So as you saw in this tutorial, I did 2 different types of calculations. I firstly times their monthly revenue by 10 to show them I can increase the revenue by 10x. But also I showed them the difference of the revenue they're currently making and the revenue they can make if they work with me. I'd heavily suggest using a formatting tool to utilize the leads numbers and give them an idea of some of the benefits that they can achieve from working with you. There's a ton of different things you can do using a formatting option. This is literally just the basics. I don't want to bore you guys with all the different possibilities, but I did want to point out that this is not the limits of what you can actually do using this tool. And that's pretty much it. You now have an understanding of how you can actually create custom pitches for your leads live on a sales call and the best ways you can actually use this superpower to make you more money. What you need to do now, don't save this video in a playlist because realistically you'll never come back to it. If you genuinely think this is something you want to use in your agency, stop what you're doing right now, rewind this video and begin building. Any questions about this video, anything else, don't hesitate to drop a comment below. We respond to every single comment. If you watched up to this point in the video, you're most likely blown away by what you can actually do using automation in your agency. The good news is that in reality, this is even 1% of what you can achieve using automation and different custom solutions. As you've seen today, automation is about so much more than just saving you time. It's a superpower that allows you to do things like this to increase your close rate, decrease your churn rate, and make you more money every single month. The truth is that using more complicated solutions like this can get a bit tricky, so to avoid getting confused, check out an agency's guide to automation. This is a 4-in-1 magnet that we put together to show you different ways you can actually integrate automation in your agency with over 200 different automation examples. We usually share this with our partners when they first get onboarded to our systems, but I'm more than happy to share this with you completely for free to get you started on your automation journey today. If you want access to this, so check the first link in the description for a free copy. And if you wanted a bit more insight on the different benefits of automating parts of your agency and setting up the correct systems to scale up, then book a call with our team using the third link in the description. Here, you'll be able to talk to someone who lives and breathes automation for a living and will provide you with a custom plan based on your needs and situation. That's it from me, guys. If you haven't already, check out these 2 videos which a YouTube algorithm has specifically chosen for you, and don't forget to subscribe for more free value like this every single week. I'll catch you in the next one.